posted a series of screenshots and messages pointing to sexual misconduct, posting things such as he's a sack of shit who mentally, emotionally, and sexually abuses his girlfriends. And you keep saying you have apologized, but I don't remember doing that, but I apologize. To rape is not an apology.
It is not.
No. You have never apologized. You've crawled into other wrestlers' DMs to muddy my name. Starr has responded as well, saying, I've done plenty of wrong in my life, especially regarding my relationship with my partners. I am not a predator, but I have been an emotionally immature dickhead to my partners. To be fair, Victoria has tweeted screenshots of messages, and they are pretty damning, but way too many to report here. So if you're curious, just Google the situation. Hit up the Twitskis. Everything is there. Or Reddit if you're that professed. I don't do that.
Yeah, and I'd say that about all of this. We don't have everything on all of this because it'd just be us sitting here just reading Twitter all day long, and that's not what you're here for. We're here to talk about it. I'll be the first to say I don't think I even knew David Starr until this came out, so...
Yeah, I don't believe he's really crossed my radar.
So first of all, I'm not going to miss him. Second of all, I believe Victoria. Third of all, and for those of you, it's not the Victoria that you know from the past, not Tara from Impact, or, it's not her, and it's not any of the Tories that were in WWE. It's a independent wrestler, Victoria, so don't want you to confuse people, but that started it. I mean, that was the spark that started the flame. So it's a bad thing it happened. It's a good thing Victoria spoke out, and probably a good thing at this time with so much going on right now with standing up for injustice all across the board. I think that was...
If there's a time to make noise, the time is now.
Yeah, so moving on to some more names that more people have probably heard of. A woman named Candy Cartwright accused Matt Riddle of assaulting her in a van when she denied a sexual advance. Quote, I'm posting this because I have been so sad for so long. I didn't realize that what he did to me was not okay. I realize now, reading these other brave women's stories, that I can't be afraid anymore, and I have to speak out. Back in May of 2018, I was riding with Matt Riddle and a few other wrestlers. During the van ride, when 3 other wrestlers had fallen asleep, Matt asked me to, quote, hop on his dick.
So eloquent.
Well, I mean, I've asked you to do that every now and then, and you never... But, that's a different... You and I are a different situation.
Yeah, we're comfortable with each other.
Exactly. When I refused... And she says, although we had previously been together, I was incredibly uncomfortable in that setting. And that's understandable, in a van with multiple other people.
Right.
When I said no, he grabbed me by my throat, choked me, and said, what if I just made you? I ended up giving him oral sex, praying someone wouldn't wake up and see, to get out of having intercourse with him. It was incredibly humiliating. It is never okay to put your hands on a woman. It's also not okay to not listen when she says no.
Yes. As of this morning, I had heard rumors that WWE had pulled his debut on SmackDown from airing. Spoiler alert, he debuted and won his first match tonight on SmackDown. Matt Riddle's lawyer came out and said that the family has been aware of this woman for years and that she has been stalking him and them, and they have the capabilities to fight this in court. And I would assume WWE has pretty strong confidence in him, calling him up from NXT still tonight with all of this in the air.
Yeah, and obviously this was a pre-taped segment, so he had his match and won before any of this came out. So I give them that. But God, you'd think they'd have the class, again, since it's pre-taped, just to fucking hold it up. There's no way they couldn't have filled... come on, it's a
5
SmackDown
minutes.
segment. How long was the match?
It's his debut. It was a squash. He came in and won. It extra commercials.
No way they couldn't have filled that time with something else. That's class. That's classless. even if he is 100% innocent, and any of these men are innocent until proven guilty, 100%.
Yes.
And all of these women are believable until proven unbelievable. Let's say it both ways.
Yeah.
But there's no reason WWE couldn't have pulled that and held that segment. It's during the COVID time. Nobody's watching right now. Anyways, you can hold his fucking debut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, Isa. Sierra Loxton put Joe Coffey on blast for not leaving her alone. She claims not to be the only target of Coffey's obsessions. Loxton had to block Coffey on Twitter, but she also alleges that he has a history of sexual harassment. This allegedly includes sending unsolicited nude photos, voice notes, and stalking women.
That's sad. Coffey's pretty good. I like Coffey, to be honest. Don't get to watch him in NXT, but I don't watch NXT UK. But
yeah,
this is one of the more
surprising.
At least, no, not even more surprising. Just as far as details go, one of the least explicit. Like, it doesn't. I don't know how she felt or what he did to her, but at least in writing, like, okay, this is a breather before we get into some other bad ones. Like the next one coming up, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, who has not acted very gentlemanly.
Ooh. Actually, he switched to a heel gimmick recently, I guess, which probably wasn't the best thing for him.
Well, either way, he's been released from WWE, so they don't have the confidence in him that they have in Matt Riddle. Let's say that. He was accused of sexual assault by a woman named Becky. Becky recalled the incident in a tweet and noted that it happened on New Year's Eve 2014. Gallagher allegedly grabbed her and tore her skirt when she wouldn't sit on his lap. Another woman, who's named Tori, responded, and I don't know if this is the Victoria or a different Tori, I'm not sure, responded to Becky's tweet and wrote, "We don't know each other, but Jack raped one of my best friends. I've been angrily sitting on that for so long, but she hasn't been ready to tell her story." So again, not a lot of detail, but not pretty even in the little bit that we see.
Yeah. A woman named Hannah Francesca has accused NXT UK star Jordan Devlin of abuse. Francesca tweeted of photos of bruises on her body and accused the former NXT Cruiserweight Champion of causing them, saying, quote, "This is absolutely right. The boys club mentality makes it even harder for victims to speak out. I approached a promotion about being abused by someone on their card and was told one of my boys wouldn't do that. I didn't talk about what happened to me for a long time after," Francesca wrote in a now-deleted tweet. She continued in another now-deleted post, "I absolutely understand your intent here, but I'm not going to be sued by a man with a lot of power and WWE money. It's a lot more complicated than just naming and shaming," she added. "I was also told to reach out to my abuser, as the whole thing might just be a, quote, misunderstanding." Woman face-palming emoji. Promoters, educate yourself. Don't gaslight your fans or talent.
Yeah. And Jordan Devlin just isn't high enough on the list for people to just be protecting. So
yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
If they weren't going to protect Gentleman Jack, I don't see Devlin getting any kind of protection.
For real. Again, everybody's innocent. We don't know. We don't know. But the stories need to be told. And if they turn out to be false, we here at Beef Sticks are going to be the first ones to let you know that we've heard that.
Tell you a lot of fake shit anyway. So
For real.
Your own research.
Independent wrestler Natalie Sykes has publicly accused NXT UK luchador El Ligro of sexually harassing her. "I am so unbelievably scared, but I guess I have nothing to lose. Thank you to those who have encouraged me to come forward." Now, Ligero has responded and admits to inappropriate behavior and sending unwanted messages to female talent. Quote, "The current story that has been released by Violet O'Hara / Claire Michelle Oldfield is neither accurate nor true," Ligero stated on Twitter. "This is completely false allegations, and whilst I've done other things in my life that I deeply regret, this isn't an accurate or truthful portrayal of events. This is something I strongly deny and is something I've been in the process of speaking to a legal team about. It's inappropriate, it's an embarrassment, and it's an absolute shameful way to act from someone in a position of trust. I sincerely apologize for my actions and any hurt I've caused. I have no justification of my actions in the slightest. In these situations, I have failed people as a friend, as a fiance, and as a decent human being. So he's kind of going back and forth there. He starts out with the current story that has been released is neither accurate nor true, but then at the end, he says that he's been an embarrassment, shameful, and apologizes, and that the situations he's failed as a friend, a fiance, and a decent human being. So I'm not sure. He's kind of towing the line there, Pasty. Mm-hmm. Like maybe I didn't rape her, but, I forced her to do hand stuff. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's, bad taste in the mouth, really.
Really? I'm not going to say it. I'm bigger than that.
AEW ring announcer Justin Roberts is being accused of sexual misconduct. A fan came forward with screenshots of DMs she had with Justin Roberts back in 2014 when she was only 17 years old. During their communications, Roberts tries to convince the girl to send him some NSFW photos.
And what does NSFW mean, Pasty?
Not safe for Waterfields.
Damn right.
She states that she was naive and that she had never been spoken to in such a manner. I've held on to these for a long time, she said. I felt ashamed and like somehow it was my fault. I was 17, naive, had never been spoke to in such a manner. It makes me so uncomfortable looking back at it now. Legal or not, a man in his 30s has no right to talk to a teenager. Hashtag speaking out.
I mean, people in their 30s can talk to teenagers.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there. I think she meant in that manner.
Right. Does that mean I'm not going to be allowed to talk to my daughter in a few years?
Well, I mean, you can't even go to the McDonald's drive-thru. You know what I mean? You're kind of fucked. Go ahead.
All right. This is terrifying, but the right thing to do. Speaking out. And yes, he was aware I was a teenager. Legal age in the UK is 16, but if you think it's okay for a man in his 30s to converse with such a young girl, still growing physically and mentally like this, then you need a serious reality check. And I did read the tweets, and it was very much him begging, pleading, and harassing her to send him photos. Even if it's her in a tank top, it would be good enough to get him off. Like
very, very creepy.
Yeah.
Very, very creepy. Millie McKenzie, yet another independent star. You see how these independent are not even just the independent, these women in wrestling. I can't even imagine I honestly can't imagine what it's like. Another independent star. She's accused Travis Banks of being abusive during a relationship they had when she was only 17 years old. She wrote, very scary doing this, but I don't want anyone else to have to go through what I did. Things need to change. Things didn't end with Jake. I began training under Travis Banks when I was 17. We had a secret 1-year relationship in which he wouldn't speak to me. Or be near me in public in case anyone would find out. Cheated on me multiple times in front of my face and was horrible to me. Had a massive effect on my mental health and self-confidence. I hated wrestling and the person I became when I was with him. Speaking out. I really hope that speaking out movement actually creates the change the wrestling industry so desperately needs.
Jimmy Havoc's ex-girlfriend, Rebecca Crow, has alleged he was abusive during their 3-year-long relationship. She wrote, I'm scared to write this because I know people will defend him through anything because he's always been lovely to me, unquote. But my tears as I write this don't lie. I had a 1.5 year therapy to finally break free of my own brain, defending him time and time again. I dated